Okay, I'm starting. This is the first in next week's vlog, but it's still Friday. It's like, I don't know, an hour since I closed off the last vlog. Hopefully I have some book sale footage in my last one, but I wanted to start with a couple things I picked up at the book sale. These are things that are not going on my TBR, so they're not going to show up in a book haul, but they're all cookbooks. I did well with the cookbooks. I got there early, and I think where the picking over really shows is in the cookbooks. In fact, when I was there was this guy like with a big box was just pulling all the like high quality cookbooks he could find. I'm sure he was reselling them. I don't mean to be cynical. That sounded cynical. But anyway, I'll show you what I got. Luckily, there were multiple copies of these. So they were also the most expensive. So there you go. The first one was the New Family Cookbook. This is from America's Test Kitchen. So this is one of those all-purpose cookbooks. And then this is one I've heard great things about. Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. I bought this just because I'd heard good things about it. Great condition. And then I got a slow cooker cookbook because I make cooking easy. That's that's how I feel. Make cooking easy. And then my husband is doing keto-ish, so I needed to find some more keto cookbooks because, oh man, I am so sick of cooking that stuff. So I got a keto Instant Pot cookbook because we do have an Instant Pot, and a keto slow cooker cookbook. I didn't really look through these to see what the recipes are. I figure with these, if I don't like these cookbooks, I mean, well, the hardcover ones were like $12 to $15. That's very expensive for the library book sale. These were like $3. And those hardcover ones I know I'm going to keep because they're the kind of cookbooks that are reference books. But these other ones, you know, I'll get the recipes I want out of it, then I'll just put this back in the donation box, and it's already got a price tag on it. Library can just sell it again. Anyway, now I got to go home and catalog my other books and put together my vlog from last week. Found him. Well, I came, I saw, bought enough for the tote bag. I'm not going to go through everything that, where are the goodies? Here we go. Everything I bought because I'll be in my haul. Oh, sorry, this is going like that. Sorry. I did buy my kids something. I did not buy them books because I still haven't read their YOLO Bookshop books, but I did buy them Pop Rocks. This is one of the few places I can find Pop Rocks around here, so I made sure to get them some. But yeah, I got a lot of good books, and some of them I have on hold in the library, so I can cancel those holds. Yeah, but I found some good sales. Well, I found some sales. And I'm not going to go to Jan's Paperbacks, which I thought I might, but I just spent a lot of money, and I spent a lot of money yesterday, so I think I better not. But happy Independence Bookstore Day. You will probably have seen my haul before this video comes out, so we're good. Anyway, I got to go home now and tell my husband there's a mattress sale because we need a new mattress. It's bad. We really need a new mattress. Anyway, talk to you later. Okay, I'm back from Independent Bookstore Day at Powell's. Damage was done. But I wanted to give you a reading update. So first thing, yesterday, I finished, after I did my vlog for yesterday, I finished, you see back there, there's a whiteboard that my kids like to draw on, and a map of Ukraine for reasons that I don't understand why my son felt it needed to be there. But whatever. My husband and I are not interior decorators, so we'll just take anything. Anyway, yesterday I finished The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods, or Evie Woods. So this was recommended to me by my brother. And I already did a review of it on Instagram, which you might have seen. But basically, it's a book about books that is very, very, very deep into magical realism. So if you are willing to just hang up your disbelief at the door and just go into it and go where it takes you, you will enjoy it. It is a book that does the heavy lifting for you, so you can just kind of settle in and enjoy. It brings up a lot of literary characters. Hemingway makes an appearance. James Joyce makes an appearance. There's a whole plot line about Emily Bronte. So that's a lot of fun. Has dual timeline. There's a modern day timeline and one set in the 20s. There's a little, it does slide into melodrama and coincidence at times, but because of the nature of the book and the really strong magical realism, it's not really an issue. But the funny thing was, my oldest brother did actually recommend this to me. And okay, so first of all, it's not really a book I thought he would read, which is okay. But the other thing is, there's a really evil older brother in this book. So I'm like, what was he trying to say? It was very strange, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's a book you don't want to think too hard about because you can poke a lot of holes in it, but if you can just enjoy it. It was definitely the book I needed at the moment. Although I can say there might be other times when it's not a book that works for me. It's one of those kind of books. After that, I started Glorious Exploits by, I had to write the name down here, Ferdia Lennon. I heard about this book from Roz at Scallydandling about the books. And it is historical fiction. It's set during the Peloponnesian War in Syracuse, which I did not know was in Sicily. You learn something new every day. And basically all the captured Athenians are in this like gravel pit, and the Sicilians they're the Syracusians, they just come over and kind of like beat up on them. But these two go, and they basically just want the Athenians to perform Euripides for them. I actually know that this is a true story because I remember Natalie Haynes talking about it. So it's interesting. Now it says like in the little thing that it's like told in modern language with Irish humor. Ferdia Lennon is Irish Libyan. And yeah, I'm sure it's Irish humor, but it actually reminded me more, and I've only read the first chapter so far, but it reminded me more of Christopher Moore and Lamb, which is the only book of his that I've read and enjoyed. Lamb, the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's Childhood Pal. It's not as slapstick and corny as Lamb, but there's that kind of same sense of humor. But I think I'm really going to enjoy that one. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I read another story out of Night Side of the River by Jeanette Winterson, which is really interesting because the last story that I told you guys that I had read, which was in last week's, was called The No Ghost story about a man whose partner died and he really wanted his partner to be a ghost so he could have a connection with his partner again. It was a beautiful story. Well, this next story, which is called The Undiscovered Country, is told by the partner's point of view after death. It was also very interesting and lovely. They worked really well together. I think had I known that they were connected, I probably would have read them back to back, but whatever, it works out fine. Just really enjoying this collection. Really, if you, again, it's not scary. There are some like little kind of creepy ones at the beginning because the first section is like ghosts in technology, which was a little more unsettling, but it wasn't scary. But it's just a beautiful book. And I'm going to make a recommendation to someone right now, and that is to Farah at Bookstalgic, because I just watched her Memento Mori tag, and she said that she liked books that dealt with the afterlife. So I think, Farah, you would really enjoy this short story collection. There you go. Recommendation for you. I just heard the mail come, and I'm pretty sure I have another book in there. Oh man, I blew my TBR up today, and April isn't even over yet. So, yeah. It's going to be an ugly month. Well, it's going to be a good month. I actually got a lot of good books, which you will see, or probably have already seen in my April haul. There's a couple, and I'll say this in the haul, but that I'd be willing to do a buddy read of, like at the second half of May, if anyone's interested. So that already has happened. You've already seen that. So anyway, now I'm going to go make myself some lunch and go see what's in the mailbox for me. We are going to have so many flowers soon. I don't know if you can see all those buds up there. This is my husband's idea. It's actually turning out nicely. But yeah, I also really love this strange yellow bush that was like part of the landscaping when we bought the house. But actually it looks really cool. Hello, it's Monday the 29th. I'm out on my front porch again today. It's not raining. They aren't doing road construction at the moment, so I thought I'm going to take advantage of a quiet moment. And very exciting, my new mattress is coming today. We have needed a mattress. So we've had our current mattress for 17 years. My husband insisted mattresses are supposed to last 20, and I said, no, they're supposed to last 10. And a while ago, February of 2020, I just realized I couldn't do it anymore. I needed a new mattress. And I will give my husband a little bit of grace for timing on that one, because, you know, 2020 didn't last. It's now 2024. We finally got one. We bought it yesterday, and it's coming today. This will probably be the first night that I've gotten a good night's sleep in my own bed for 5 years. I'm so looking forward to it. And, oh yeah, the construction guy's looking at me weird. Oh well. Anyway, that's my excitement. I finished a couple things. First of all, I left it inside, but I finished Cannibal by Safiya Sinclair. It's her poetry collection. Quite liked it. It's pretty deep though. I wonder what I would think about it had I not read How to Say Babylon though, because so much of what is in How to Say Babylon is reflected in the poems in Cannibal. But there's also a lot that she wrote about being in Virginia, which I thought was interesting. So yeah, I mean, I can't go back and read it not having read How to Say Babylon. But I do think having read How to Say Babylon, it made it a better experience for me. And I also read today a story out of here. Well, I started reading one story and I realized I have in fact already, The Long and Painful Death, I had already read that one. It was in so late in the day. So I skipped ahead to the next story, which was Surrender. That was good. It was about let's just say an army sergeant who had a bit of an attitude problem. Again, short stories. I don't want to spoil them, so I'm not going to say much. There's only one story left in here, and it is longer. It's novella length. Well, it's like 40 pages as opposed to like 20 pages. But I will forgive it because it's Claire Keegan and I love Claire Keegan. So I did take this out of my short story rotation. I'm just going to read it on its own, that last story. So, but this was a really good collection. I like this one. And so, yeah. So today is the 29th, as I said. Tomorrow is the 30th, which is my husband's birthday. And then on May 1st, a whole new month. And I am starting one buddy read on May 1st. I'm going to read Charlotte. I'm going to read Shirley by Charlotte Bronte with Nicole at Noteworthy Fiction. We both are Jane Eyre fans, and we both read Villette not too long ago. And that's a thing that happened to both of us. So we're giving Charlotte Bronte another chance with Shirley, and we're going to do a buddy read with it. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping to have Glorious Exploits done by then, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. So I might just have to double up my reading a little bit, which is fine. I'm really enjoying Glorious Exploits though. So it looks like they're starting to dig up my street again, so I'm going to go inside. Hopefully my mattress will be here soon. Hello. It is April 30th. I have a weird hair thing going on right here. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, it's just going to do its thing. Today's my husband's birthday. So, not that we do anything big about it, but there we go. I did a couple videos today, including my April book haul, which was massive, but it should be up. You will have seen it by the time you see this video. I also did my May 2023 book haul revisit, and that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But one of the books on there was this one, Midsummer Mysteries. And I got to thinking, I better see how many of these stories I actually have to read, because I've read some of them in other collections. There's only 3 stories in here I have to read. So I just read one. It's called Jane in Search of a Job, which is sort of like a madcap one. It feels like early Christie, but it's kind of fun. I like the main character in it. It was a fun little read. The ending was a little eye-rolly, but but I still really enjoyed it. So I'm just going to put this in the rotation because I only have 2 more stories to read in it, and then I can put something else on it. So yeah, I also put away all my books for my book haul, which meant doing a lot of shifting on my bookshelves, and my back was killing me. But anyway, such is life. There you can see my bathroom. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. It's April 1st. Quick check-in. I finished another story in this book. It was called Do You Belong to Anybody? I believe that was, we're going to say that was the title. I just dropped my bookmark. Let me go this way so you don't have to look at my bathroom. It was by Maya Binyam. It wasn't my favorite story, I have to admit. It was about an unnamed man who returns to his homeland, which is an unnamed country that apparently has gone through some kind of revolution or upheaval, and he's got a past, and it talks about him meeting all these people. And it seemed like she had a point that she was hitting really, really, really hard. And it started to become repetitive to me. So that it just felt a little preachy. It's kind of my take on that. Now, second thing, after my book haul yesterday, I realized I needed to do kind of a little bit of an unhaul. So I did a quick thing of my shelves and I checked some ratings, and I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? 3, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books off my shelves, which is not that many. How many I have there, but I'm always worried when I do unhauls. It's like, I paid money for this book. I don't want to not read it. The good news is I don't think I paid full price for any of these books. So let me show you what I have here. The first is a book of the month book, which was The Wishing Game. I know Bookish Best Friend thought this was a great book. She's the only person I know who liked this book. I'm just not going to read it. Bookish Best Friend and I are usually pretty simpatico, but the numbers are against her on this one. So this I also got from Book of the Month. I think it's one of the very first Book of the Month books I got, and it's just poorly rated. It's been sitting on my shelf for literal years. I mean, I don't even know. It's before they even started putting the date on the back of the books on Book of the Month. So, and then this by the same author had the same rating as The Nest, but I got it at the library bookstore, so I only paid $4. I threw that one all the way over there. Okay, then these books all came into my library at no financial cost. This I won, I think the library, I did a summer reading thing and it became part of it. I don't know, it just didn't speak to me. This was a Goodreads giveaway copy. It's been on my shelf a long time and I haven't read it yet. Another Goodreads, another Goodreads giveaway winner. And I've liked this author in the past, but this just doesn't sound like, reading the synopsis, it doesn't sound like a book that I want to read. I pulled this out of a little free library. I recently listened to a Megan Miranda book and really didn't like it, and I just don't feel like I want to give her another chance. Finally, this was another little free library book that I just kind of decided I'm not going to read. So there you go. That's just a little tiny dent in the bookshelf, but at least it's something. Decided to turn my chair around because I thought the flowers in the background was better than like my house. So there you go, you get some spring. Today is Thursday, May 2nd, and quick update. I finished this book last night. The last story in here, I think it's called Under the Quicken Trees, is one of the most Irish stories I've ever read. Kind of reminded me of that movie, I can't remember the name, but had Colin Farrell in it and Brendan Gleeson, I think, and Brendan Gleeson kept chopping his fingers off. No one chops their fingers off in this, but there is a goat. I enjoyed this story. I know I'm kind of making it sound silly, but I did actually enjoy the story, and I really loved this collection. I think the only story in here that didn't work for me is the one that I had previously read, and even that didn't, it wasn't that it didn't work for me, it just wasn't kind of what I expect from Claire Keegan. So great collection. I also read another story in this, Night Side of the River, and this one was called, oh man, I gotta look up the title here. 1 second here. Where's my post? I should have been prepared. Canterville and Cock. And it was actually, these are all ghost stories. This was one of the funniest stories in here. It was just absolutely delightful. It was about a guy who puts on fake ghost like weekends, like you can go stay in a castle and experience the ghosts. It's all of course very fake until it isn't. This one was very delightful. It had me laughing out loud, which I'm sure my husband appreciated because he was still in bed and I was just in the bathroom reading, but really good. I was thinking originally that I would stop this vlog today and do it Friday through Thursday because I started this on Friday last week because it was going to be kind of a weird weekend with both the library sale. It was going to kind of hit me in the library sale and the and a pen-to-pen bookstore day. But I think I'm going to have this go through Friday, so I'll do another thing tomorrow, and then it'll be Saturday through Friday going forward if I decide to do it this way. Yeah, so, and I'm hoping it's not going to be as long as my last one, but I don't really know until I put all the videos together. So we'll see. Anyway, it feels like it's going to rain, so I'm going to go inside before it rains. Hello, I'm back in Boring Corner. It is Friday, May 3rd, so I'm doing my last entry for this vlog. But I have, when you're a book polygamist, sometimes this happens where it looks like you haven't finished anything for a long time, and then you finish a bunch of books at once. And that's kind of what's happened to me. So I have 3 books here that I finished, 2 last night and 1 today. And I'm going to share 2 books. One I just started yesterday, and one I'm going to start as soon as I finish filming this. Alice says hi. No, she's going upstairs. So the first book I finished was Hula by Jasmin, Iolani, Hakes. This is for my library book club. We meet tomorrow. This is a family story, mother-daughter, set in Hawaii. Hula plays a big part, which was very interesting to learn about. And this is my deal with this book. It was a really interesting story. Not a fond of the execution. There was a lot of info dumping, which I found frustrating. And then also they would switch between viewpoints, which is fine. But then when you switch to the viewpoint, part of that was going back and covering a period in time we just went with the other person's viewpoint. So it's like just backtracking a little bit, which I got frustrated with. So I'm really kind of torn on this because I did think the story was really good and I learned a lot. It wasn't executed well. I'm going to give this like a C+. We'll see what my library book club thinks tomorrow. The other thing is, since I finished this in May, I can count it for AAPI month. So the next book I finished is my Historathon 2024 book for second quarter. It may be the only book I read this quarter, may not. We'll see if my back order comes in, whatever. But it is Queens of the Conquest, England's Medieval Queens, Book 1. So Alison Weir, who I learned also writes nonfiction, has a trilogy, England's Medieval Queens, which I learned are not all called Queens of the Conquest. This is the first one. So this one covers, you're going to hear the same name a lot. Matilda, who was the wife of William the Conqueror. Matilda, who was the wife of Henry the First, the first wife of Henry the First. Adeliza, who was the second wife of Henry the First and really didn't do that much. Matilda, who was married to Stephen of Blois, who became king. It's a whole thing. Very dark queenish towards the end here. And then Maud, called Matilda, who was the daughter of Henry the First. She was Matilda called Maud, I should say. In fact, Alison Weir even says in here that she just calls her Maud because it's too confusing with too many Matildas. Lots of times in, if you look at the ruler of rulers, we used to get that when I was in college. Sometimes our professor would give us a ruler of rulers, which had all the English rulers on it. They'd have Queen Matilda. That is Maud, not Matilda, but Maud was not actually ever a queen. That was Matilda, who is called Maud, not Matilda, who is Queen Matilda in this book. Very confusing, I know. They needed some more names, but really interesting. I didn't know much about Matilda of Flanders, and she was pretty impressive. And Matilda of Scotland was too, but the real drama comes between Queen Matilda, who's not the Queen Matilda, and Maud, who is the Queen Matilda, but we call her Maud. I've said before, The Dark Queens is like a fabulous book, and it's vicious. This pretty vicious too. These were two pretty impressive women, and King Stephen, who was the usurper. He wasn't really a usurper. He really wasn't that great of a king. Whatever. He's just kind of there in the middle. It's very interesting. Well written. I enjoyed this quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to reading the next one whenever it gets off back order. And then finally, just this morning, I finished Thundersong Essays by Sacha Lapointe. I'm not going to say much about this because I did a buddy read with Sarah at Roadworthy, and I want to talk to her first. But I will say that I enjoyed this. I gave this an A. I also gave this an A. Now, for what I am currently or just about to start reading. A lot of people during April did like the poetry readathon, and Mariandria did a lot, and she read some poems from Wislawa Szymborska, who apparently is the Nobel Prize. I've never won the Nobel Prize. I've never heard of her, but I really like the poem she read, so I got one of her collections. And I've just started reading it, so I'm not far at all. but I'm enjoying it. And it's really not what I'd expect from a Polish author, which sounds weird because I don't know what I would expect from a Polish author. But yeah, I'm just picking it up, reading a few poems, putting it down. The other book I ordered was a poet that was featured on Pat at Book Chat at Pat's channel. I will put her name here because I have forgotten it. But she is a poet who for a long time lived in the town next to me and taught at Pacific University. I guess now she lives in North Carolina. However, that was back ordered, so we'll get it when we get it. Now, right after I finish filming this and after I eat a sandwich because it's lunchtime, I'm going to start my Agatha Christie for the month of May, which is Murder is Easy. I am excited to read this because they did an adaptation of this just recently. I guess they do a Christie adaptation every Christmas. Apparently this one was really good, and Bookish Best Friend has been on me to watch it, and I told her I was not going to watch it until I read the book, and it was the May book, so now I'm reading it, and then I can watch it, and then she'll get off my back. We can talk about it, and then she'll get off my back. But I've heard this is a good one, so I'm looking forward to it. It's a little bit longer than some other Christies, but that's fine. Christie just goes really quickly. And it's been a while since I've read a standalone by Christie, so that'll be fun too. So that's really it for this vlog. A couple housekeeping things. First of all, the O Pioneers read along is going to start on my Discord on June 19th. If you'd like to join, please join my Discord. There's already a thread started. And also voting is still open until Sunday for my second half of May readathon. Right now, Bandit Queens is winning. So, you know, come if you want to join us and you have an opinion, come vote. As I said, I will do that in 3 places. So you can choose from Discord, my Discord, or Voxer, or Storygraph. I will do it everywhere that someone wants to do it. Just let me know. Anyway, so that's about it. I don't know how long this vlog is going to be because I haven't put it together yet, but hopefully it's a little shorter than last week's. And hopefully I don't have any weird audio issues, but we'll see. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, join my Discord. Bye.